All right, everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Hillbilly Hobby. And today what we're doing, I saved you all the trouble of all this taking everything apart. It actually wasn't too bad. I can cover it. There's only like two Phillips screws for this panel under the steering wheel. What we're doing today is we're going to try to fix the ignition switch. So that is where the ignition switch came from. There was only four torque bolts, screws, and two little disconnect harnesses in the back. And so I've got her out, and what we're gonna do is, this is the full assembly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this apart and we're gonna clean it out with some electronic cleaner. So what it's doing is I have a parasitic draw on the battery. At first I thought it was an alternator, did some tests, did some troubleshooting, and determined it was not the alternator. So thought it might have been just a bad battery, wouldn't hold the charge. So I got a new battery, and then the next day after I bought the new battery, I came out and everything was completely dead. So apparently there was a parasitic draw on the battery, on the power system. So while I was charging it up again to try to trace down this parasitic draw, I happened to open the driver's side door and I heard this clicking. And if you can see this little insert in here, it's kind of loose. So what had happened was it did not turn, and I noticed when I was trying to get the key out, when I turned it off, it was kind of stuck a little bit. So what it's not doing, it's not going, I guess, all the way to off to allow you to pull your fob. So that's staying, essentially it's still staying on. Basically, I guess maybe in accessory mode, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still drawing constantly on the battery. So we're just going to, disassemble this. There's four little, I guess, tabs here on each side, and we're going to push those in, take this bottom part off, and then in here is like a circuit board piece where this insert, once you press the fob in and turn it, it has like pins that touch the circuit board for the certain positions, accessories, start, run, all that stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So let me get this apart and we'll get you in there. All right, everybody, so here's that circuit board I was talking about. Now we're going to get this lifted out, and if I remember correctly, you don't mess with these, you leave these pins, and it's, I want to say there's little tabs. So this one right there is one, and yeah, okay. Oh, I see, never mind. Okay, so all right, let me get this out and then I'll get right back to you. All right, everybody, so now I got the assembly out, and we are going to clean in there, and then in there. And we're going to see if that kind of helps it operate normally. So we're going to use this CRC electronic cleaner, and we'll see how it does. Hopefully it works. Okay, so we kind of got everything cleaned out as best I could. Gonna let it dry, still a little bit wet, and cleaned in there, and also cleaned the tip of the fob just to do it. So we'll see. I think that insert, this insert's a little loose. I'm gonna keep cleaning on him a little bit and everything, but after this I'm gonna put it back in. We're gonna reconnect the battery and see what happens. All right, everybody. Got the ignition box back in. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put that faceplate back on right there. So the 4 bolts right here, those are it's a 20 T20. So there's 4 of those, and then the 2 bolts on the bottom of this, or 2 screws rather, those are just Phillips. And I've seen some videos, you do not need to disconnect the hood latch. This faceplate, it just pops straight out and straight down. You don't have to disconnect that the hood latch. So just to save you some time, I've seen different videos doing it different ways, but you don't have to do it. You can if you want, just wasting time. But anyway, let me get this back on. We'll get the battery hooked back up, and we'll test her out. Well, so far the battery is charging. I turned on the lights, did not kill it. Now I turn on brights, and I don't believe it's the alternator. So now all we can do is, I'm just letting her run a little bit because she's been sitting. All we can do now is just see if in the morning the battery is dead again. And if that's the case, then, and for some reason, that's weird, the radio's not on, so that's interesting. Yeah, maybe it could have been, I don't think it was the radio the whole time, but maybe I didn't get one of the harnesses in the back of the ignition connected all the way. That could be. Okay, well, that's where we're at for now. Like I said, the alt does not seem to be the alternator. Like I said, if I turned it on the lights, it would have, you know, almost tried to bog it out. So all we can do is hurry up and wait. All right. We shall see, y'all. We shall see. Later.